Hello all, let's take a look on the design tool Adobe XD. Let's see what else all we are going to learn in this topic. The outline of the contents are, first we'll see the Adobe XD, what is Adobe XD, then the interface of XD, the tools which are going to be used in XD, then the properties, working with artboards, then some assets and layers panel, creating and editing components, working with grids, designing and prototyping, and at last how to export the work or the design. Let's go through one by one. First, let's understand what is Adobe XD. In another word, it's Adobe Experience Design. Adobe XD stands for Experience Design and is Adobe's successful new all-in-one UX and UI solution to quickly go from concept to prototype in designing websites, mobile apps, and many more. Switch easily from wireframe, visual design, interaction design, prototyping, preview, and sharing all in one powerful tool, which is Adobe XD. It is a vector-based design tool introduced in early 2016. It is a user experience design software published and developed by Adobe. The Adobe XD supports Windows 2010 and above. It supports wireframing and vector design, and it creates innovative and simple clicking through prototypes. We'll get to know what prototypes, wireframe, these all things once we go through depth in the software. Let's see how the Adobe XD looks like. If you see on the right side, the image is a logo of Adobe Experience Design, which has been written on it X and D. It stands for Experience Design again. So once you install the software, let's see how the interface looks like. So once you install, your Adobe XD comes in your menu. Just open the tool. Once you click on Adobe XD software, you can see the interface of the first stage of the interface, which shows like this. On the left hand side, you can see the home, add-on, your work. Under that, you can see the cloud document, shared with you, manage links, and delete. So let's see. Now, if you see, you can take tutorials over here. If you are new, if you are beginner, then you can go ahead one by one the tutorial from the same tool itself. Below that, you can see it says that start a new design. Below that, there are the 4 templates. One is for mobile, second is for iPad, third is for desktops, and fourth is like custom. So from here, under this, you can find out a n number of templates, which are the default templates. You can directly pick and start creating the designs. So here you can see a n number of like iPhones, Android. These are the mobile templates. Under iPad drop down, you can see the n number of iPad templates, which are like Android, iPad Pro, Surface Pro. If you're designing for desktop, then you have here, there are the 3 templates, which are like higher to the lower, which views like web 1280 into 800, then ends with 1920 into 1080. So these are the, if you are designing for desktop, then you can pick it any one and you can go through it. If you don't find any of this, then you can use a custom design. You can pick a custom template and click on it. It will redirect to the next screen. So before going over here, let me take you back for this page. So these are the templates. So if now let's pick something for Android now, because as we will be creating any design with this Adobe XD, we'll pick a Android template. Just click it. It will redirect to your next interface, which you see on a screen. So this is the entire Adobe XD tool. The desktop, what you see over here, are the combination of multiple things which I'll be explaining you out. Next, we got to know how to open the XD and what to start it. Now let's see the XD interface. Now this is an interface where we can start our exact work. So on the top, you can see there is, on the top left hand side, you can see the menu bar. Under that you can see the n number of things, which is like new, open recent, GUI kits. Then you can rename the files, you can save the files, you can save as the files, you can export or the import. We'll get to know one by one from this. So this is the entire menu bar where you can manage your things inside this. Then it comes next to that, there is a home icon. Once you click on this, it will take to your initial screen, which from where you can again choose your templates from here. Then we have a design tab and the prototype tab. We'll go in depth while later. So next, in the center of the top header, you can see there's a name called Untitled 2. Now here, beside that, it is like the cloud icon. You can see that. Now if you want to save, now this is, the file is unsaved. So to save this file, once you save your file, your file name appears over here. So if you see over here, if you click on the drop down, then give your file name. Next, give your file name, and you can choose from the two options. One, if you want to save your file on a cloud, then you just click on a cloud document. Nor if you want to save on your local document, like on your local PC, then select your computer. From that, then choose your location where you want to save it. Now for test purpose, I'll choose it my desktop. Inside that, I can create a folder and I'll save it. I'll select this folder and I'll save it. You can see the path where it has been saved. Then give the save. Click on the save button. Now you can see your file name on the top of your file. Next, moving to the left side, this is a toolbar window. So this is the entire, we have a total 9 tools which we are going to learn one by one. Let's see what is the center one. Okay, below to the toolbar, you can see there are the 3 icons, which is one is plugin, the bottom one is plugin, above that it is a layer, above that it's a assets. we are going to learn one by one these all things in the next session. Next, inside the gray box, what you see, this is in a stage. So the entire the gray, you can see this is in a stage. So now the template what you had selected, it appears on the same stage over here. Now this is your template what you had choose from the home page itself. So we had choose the Android, which has been appeared over here. So this is an artboard of your, so this is called an artboard. This is an entire artboard of your Android mobile template. We'll explain what this can be done with this artboard when we learn this artboard tool from the toolbar. Next, we have the left hand side, the right hand side is in a property window. The entire property window has a multiple things. Once you select any tool related to the tools, the property gets appear in the property window. So now the all properties are been disabled. If you select, once you select your stage, under stage, once you select your artboard, the artboard properties get displayed in the property window. So this is an entire property window. We'll explain one by one when we learn the tools. So right now, inside this, there are few are a universal properties which I'll show you. So on the top, in the property window, these are the alignments which we usually see in a Word, Excel, or any a person who uses any tool, they could be familiar with the alignments. So these are all the alignments you can use it. We'll show the alignments once we use the objects. So below that there's a grid, repeat grid, and some properties of grids, and then you have a width, height, x-axis and the y-axis to the stage itself. Then we have a responsive resizer. Then we have opacity, appearance. The appearance window will go in depth in a detail for this. On the top, above the property window, you can see there is a invite to edit icon. This will cover in a prototype. Next, we have a mobile preview. Even this will cover in a prototype. Next, we have a desktop preview icon, which is like a play icon. So even this will cover in a prototype session. Next, you can see there is a zoom level, which right now it is a 79.5%. If you want, you can reduce it or increase it. Once I do it, your artboard gets zoomed. So while working on this artboard, on this particular stage in your artboard, you can zoom in or zoom out according to your design. So here there are multiple options, just you can go through one by one over here. So next we have a share button, which is at the top on the right hand side. You can see there is a share. We'll explain this in the prototype session or in the export session, which is the last part. Above that there is a minimize, maximize and a close tab. So this is the entire interface of an XD. I hope now we'll see how we are going to use this for making any design or exporting or prototyping. Now let's take a look on XD tools. We'll see what else all in these tools we are going to learn. On the left hand side, if you see the mouse cursor where I had taken on to the tool bar, which shows Here you can see the 9 tools. Let me explain one by one. The first tool, which is, if you take your mouse on a tool, first tool, which is a select tool. If you see over there is a tooltip called, it shows select. In bracket it gives a V. V is a shortcut for your keyboard. If you click on this, or you can press a V tab in your keyboard, it will get selected. This is a selection tool, a select tool. With the help of this tool, you can, like you can see on the screen, you can select and you can move to the objects on your stage or on your screen itself. So this select tool, by default, when you choose any template, this tool gets selected by default. So the selection tool is a very important tool to select, to move, or to resize any of your object or a stage size. Moving next, a next tool is a rectangle tool. The shortcut key is R in your keyboard. Now, before going to the next tool, you can see now I had selected the select tool and I had selected the artboard. Now, for this artboard, there are two parts. On the top, you can see there is a name of your artboard, which is right now it shows that Android Mobile -1. If you want, you can just double click on it and you can change it. This could be, I'll put it this for login screen. I'll rename it by double clicking on it and rename it the screen and click on a stage itself. Now your artboard has been renamed. Now once you select the artboard, for the artboard you can see it has been selected. So if you want to increase your artboard size, there are two methods. You can just drag this point so it gives a message which tells that fixed position property. The property inspector in prototype mode allows you to manage fixed position and animation option. We'll get to know what is this in the prototype part. So right now just say OK, and you can keep it, you can increase it if your screen is too big. But here you can see there is a 3 dot with a blue with a dotted screen. This means this is a fixed size of your mobile screen of an Android device. So beyond this, whatever it comes, it goes into the scroll bar. Now you had seen the one method. Next is select this artboard, select this artboard, and you can see in the property window there is a height. So I can increase this height by giving my own number. Select the height and press enter. Now your artboard size has been increased. The same goes with the width also. You can just drag it according to your design. Now go over, select this and go to the property window and change the width part. So you can do both of the way. Now after selecting this artboard, you can see the multiple properties of the artboard. Let me explain what are they. Now you have seen the height and width of the artboard, how we can change it. So if you want to proportionate, then lock it where you can see the key next to the width and the height. You can just click on that. It will get dark. It means that it has been locked now. So when you do any proportionate designs, then it is a best practice to keep it a lock, to use the aspect ratio of your height or the width. By default it will be a disable. Now beside that there is a x-axis and the y-axis of your position of your artboard. Then you can put it into the portrait mode, or if you want to design into the landscape mode, then you can click on a landscape mode. It will get the entire artboard get the landscape mode. But keep in mind that only the artboard gets changed to the landscape to the portrait mode, not the design what you had designed into the artboard. We'll show once we design something in this artboard. So currently we are doing something a mobile design, then we'll keep it into the portrait mode. We'll reset to this. Currently I will delete this. For delete this, just select and press delete. So right now on your stage there is nothing. To get a screen, to get a template, just go to the back to your home and select the template in which you want to design it. Once you select it, a new window appears. So now, this is one way. Now you can, there is a tool called artboard. From the bottom, second, select this artboard tool, and one thing you can draw if you know the size. Nor to draw the size, just click on the stage and drag it. So you can drag as per your requirement. If you know any mobile size or any desktop size, then you can draw with the help of the artboard. Drag and leave it. So this is one method. So this is an artboard tool. With the artboard tool, you can draw a new artboards according to your requirement. So just go on. Meanwhile, I'll delete this artboard, which is no use for us right now. So moving next tool, I'll keep it this to the center with 100%. I'll just fit it, or I will keep it to the 100%. It will be fit to your stage. Next, we'll see the next tool is rectangle tool, which is the shortcut key is R. Just take the rectangle tool. You can see the mouse cursor change to the 4 dot. It means that, and below to the cursor, a small rectangle has been shown over there. So once you choose the rectangle, now you need to draw a rectangle. Just drag and draw in your artboard and leave it. Then your rectangle has been drawn. Once your rectangle has been drawn, let's see the properties of this rectangle. What else all we have in a property window? By selecting the select tool, after selecting the rectangle which we had drawn, you can see into the property window all properties, whichever you can see the enable part can be applicable to this object. So let's see one by one. So on the top, which I had said in initial, which is like align top, which is the alignment part of your objects, can be aligned with this property of alignment. If you press the first align top, then the object goes and touches to your artboard, which is onto the top of your artboard. If you press to the center, in the middle, then the object comes to the middle of your artboard. Then the third, if you click it, then it touches to your bottom. Then if we see the next, which is left, if I press this, then it aligns to the left, to the artboard. Then if I make it, after that, let's see the center align. Once I click this, you can see the object gets to the center to the artboard. That means it will be on the bottom, then it will be fixed to the center. Now let's see in the alignment, which is like a right align. Once I click this, you can see the object goes to the align to the artboard to the right hand side. So this is the alignment part. Now let's see the repeat grid. Now I'll get this box to the middle and to the center. Now let us put some color in the box, which if you see over here inside the appearance window, I want to change the color. We have a fill and the border. Every object has the fixed property. One is border, fill color, border width, border. We can make border into the dash, then we can change the border color. We have a radius. Let's put it now. If we don't need, now it is the object has a white color. If you see over in the property, the object has a white color. Let me change the color to something around a red, or I will take it some good color, which is could be a green. Let's take some lighter green color. Now I had added one color to the object. Then let's put some. You can see the light. If I zoom it, you can see the border color is in black and the border size is 1 pixel. If you want to increase, you can increase by giving the value. I'll put it 10, and you can see the border got reduced to the 10 pixels. The border increased inside the object. Now, so this is something, I will put it something 5 pixel. Now you can see the border. Okay, we'll make it to the 100%. Now we were to the grid. Okay, now what is repeat grid? A repeat grid, if I want this box, I need a 10 box or a 4 or 5 box to my stage, to my into my artboard. To do so, once I select this box and click a repeat grid, you can see the box has a two side the lines. Now if I want a multiple box, I just need to select and drag to the bottom. So you can see a multiple box are getting created. So this is called a grid. So the object is now, the entire object is into the grid. If you see this over here to the grid button, it has been, now it is saying that ungroup grid, because right now the entire boxes are being grouped into the grid. So if I select and if I change the color of this box to a blue, the entire boxes get to the same color, because the all properties, if we change any one of the property also, then it will get changed into the all boxes. Can you see that? Yes, that's it. If I change the border, then definitely the all borders get changes, because a single box which is getting repeated into the multiple boxes. Like for example, if you see in a mirror and if you move your body, then in the entire mirror, in all the mirrors, the all positions get changes, which is the same thing over here. So if you don't want the properties gets to change into the all boxes, then you can ungroup grid, then you can change a single color of each box. So this is how you can play around with the grids, and you can delete it by selecting it, delete it. So this is about grid. Now let me make this box small by dragging from one corner to the center. I make the box small. Now I'll put it the repeat grid, and I'll show you if I drag it to the right hand side what it happens. The same thing, how we drag the bottom, this gets a right hand side. So you have two properties into the grid, bottom and the right. If you want bottom, then you can create a multiple bottom boxes. So this will help when you want to create either something, a table or anything, whatever you feel, you can change it. Now I don't want this a size between the grid should be so big. If I want to reduce it, just select it and bring it closer to the next box, that the entire box grid will get reduced. See, you can increase it or you can decrease it. So this is how you can play around with the grid. Now you can, now I don't want, so once the all things get set, then I'll make it this to the ungroup. Now my entire graphic, the entire graphic is into the ungroup now. If you don't want any few of your boxes, then you can delete it. You can delete any of your boxes because right now we are ungrouped to these boxes. Once you are done, you can again make it select all, then make it right click, then you can make it a group. Then all boxes has been, you can move the entire graphic in one shot. So this is about a grid part. This is not only for the box, you can make it grid, you can make it for any object to into the grid part. So let me delete this entire because we'll not use so many boxes. So here on a stage, so we'll delete it. We'll use one box. I hope you have got what is grid now. Next, you know about the width and the height properties. You can increase or you can decrease it. You can increase the height. You can increase the width. Or you can move to the x-axis or the y-axis to the stage. You can move the y-axis. Now, what is next? Now, if you see over here the rotation property, you can rotate your box according to your requirement. If you want to do from here, you can do it. Now, select this and you can see once you take your mouse to the corner of your box, then you can see the cursor has been changed to the rotation arrow. Then you can rotate it, click and rotate it. So you can rotate. If you want this to be rotated into the 90 degree, then press shift, then rotate it. It will be into the 90 degree, 80 degree. You can make it so. Now you can put it a value over here, like put it 90 degree. As per your requirement, you can do so. We'll put it, or you will just keep like this now. Okay, now I don't need a solid color. I need something a gradient color on this. So what we need to do is go into the fill, and you can see into the fill property box will appear over here. Then inside that, on a top into the drop down, you can see it has been written a solid color. Now I need to change to the gradient, any linear color, so any gradient color. Now click on a drop down. The solid color has been checked. I don't need a solid, I'll take it a linear color. Once you select the linear color, the two colors applies below to the property, a linear name. Now I need the first color needs to be black, then the second color needs to be around, I need something a light green. Okay, you can see the instant changes or the instant preview to the graphic. But I need I need a three color of linear gradient. What I need to do, I just need to click on this property. Then you can put it any color inside this. So this is how you can put as many color. Click, then add color. Click, add color. So this is how you can play around. If you want to move this color, you can move it by moving these dots. Again, it's as per your requirement. You can do so. Then, if you see in the same property window, you can reduce the opacity of this color. You can increase it, put it to the 100% or reduce it to the 0%. If you see below, you can see the property which is increasing and decreasing of the same color. Next, the entire color is into the hexa. Now, if you want the RGB color, then select over here the drop down. Then you can change the values to RGB or hexa, or you can HSB. So these, if you know the values, then you can play with this the exact properties. If you know the hexa color, then put it the value of a hexa color, or you can put it a RGB colors. If you know the RGB, then change to the RGB. This stands for R, and this stands for G, and this stands for the B, and next is the A, which is the alpha, stands for alpha. So now if you want a alpha 100%, keep it 100%. Now, but when after here, coming over here, I want to keep this color as the same yellow color. So to do so, just select this a picker, and you can pick the same color from your graphic, and you can put it over here. So you have choose the yellow color. So these are the colors which you have to use. Now once the image, so these are the my gradient color. You can see on my graphic. Now what we'll do, I will remove the border. So this is about the linear color. Now we'll put it, before doing so, I'll put it a solid color on this first. Now this is my solid color. Now every time I want this colors to be get saved. So to do so, select this, go into the fill, then select your own color. Once your color, RGB or hexa color, select it, and below here you can see save color swatch. So once I click this, the same color gets saved into your color palette. So here, as per your requirement, so this color I need to save it. So you can say this color also. So this is something my colors. Now what I'll do, I'll create more graphics. Okay, so I need this color. For this, I'll change the graph to this color. So I don't want to put it every time. I don't want to put it to the values of the hexa or the RGB, because I can pick the colors from my saved swatches. So this is how. Now copy, Ctrl C and Ctrl V, then change. So this is how you can play with around the saved color. So I hope you got to know how colors can be saved. Next, under this, now what I'll do, we had seen the linear color. Now let's see the radial color. After selecting the radial color, the radial starts from the center to the outwards, which comes into the circle. So you can see so you can move the property of a radial. So this is how a radial can be applied. If you want more colors, you can do, select this, select color, then select color, then select this dot, select color, select this dot, and select the color. So like this is how you can play with your radial color. But one thing, as we cannot save the radial color to your linear, or the radial colors cannot be saved into your swatches. If you want to see, you can click on plus, then you cannot see the current dot, current color which has been chosen can be saved it, but not the entire radial color. Can you see that? Yes, that is how you cannot save a radial color or the linear color to your swatches. Now you could be having a question, then how I can save my radial or the linear color into my collection. I can show you in a next section. Let's first understand what else all these are. Let's put it a solid form. For time being, we'll put it for solid. Now you could be wondering, once the colors had been saved, now you want to delete this. Just select and drag outside. Sorry. See, drag and outside. Leave it outside. Now select. I hope the delete works. No. Select the switch and delete. No, you can't do so. To do so, just need select and drag outside to the property window. You can do like that. So this is how adding color and deleting the color into your swatches. Same goes with the border also, but for the border only the solid is by default. You cannot put it any gradient or the linear color for the borders. This could be a disadvantages into the tool, but the as per the graphic, the border should be the solid colors. So this is about a fill and the border color. Next, we'll see now you want to reduce the opacity of the entire box. To do that, you can see below the appearance, you can see the opacity property. You can drag this slider. You can see the graphic is getting disappear, but the graphic is there. Just the opacity has been reduced. See, the opacity can be increased and can be decreased to 0 to the 100. So this works to do the entire graphic of your object. So this is about opacity. Now moving bottom to the property of this object. Now let's increase the border of your object. We'll put it something 12. Now you can see the border, right? We'll make it something a darker color to be more visible. Now my border appears over here. Let me make this box bigger. Now I want this border to be into the dotted lines or the dashed lines. To do that, just you can see next to the size, you can see there is a dash, which is right now it is a 0, which is a solid. To do that, if you input it something a value for 4, then you can see the entire border has been distributed into the dash, right? In 1 pixel, it will be like 4 dash. If you make it 10, you can see the distance between the 2 dots is now 10 pixel. If we make it reduce to the around something 20, you can see more distance, right? So according to your requirement, according to your design, you can play around. So this right now I'll put it like this. Now the gap between each pixel is a 4, but I will keep it something I can change the gap. See, you can do that. Alright, but now I need this line should be outside to the box. If I zoom it, you can see the line, the border is inside the graphic, inside the box. Now I need this box should be outside to the box. To do that, you can see below there are 3 properties. Now the first has been selected, which is the inner stroke. The stroke which is been inner. Now we'll put this stroke to the outside. See, I had selected the outside. If you take your mouse cursor to that, then it will, the tooltip you can see over there, which is a outer stroke. Now the stroke is at outside. Say it looks like a chipset, right? Now there's something a design which I need a border to be half inside and half outside. To do that, we can see the third, we can click on the third property. The entire border can be into the center. Click it, you can see, I'll zoom it, you can see in more clear. The border is half of the outside and the half of this inside, which is to the center of your graphic, center of your box. So these 3 gives a different position to your borders. So this is about the border playing inside, outside and the center. Next, on our right side you can see there is a, we can make it a butt cap, or we can make it a border to the rounded cap, or to the projecting cap. So this will not, you will not get to know for this borders. To do that I'll select a line tool. Okay, now I had drawn a line. I'll make it a border of this something around 10. Okay, now I had choose a line. Now if you see over here, by default it is this bullet cap, which is okay. Now I'll zoom it to show you into the more clear. See, the graphic is of this now. Now you can see, now if I put this to the rounded, what will happen? See, the curves of your border of a line got into the bullet shape, right? The line ends over here. Beyond that, the shape has been drawn, which is into the bullet shape. Now this, if I do this projecting cap, the line will end here, but out of that, the second property was into the bullet, and the third is like into the projecting shape, which is again the straight into the rectangle. So these are the three properties of your border or a line, you can say that. So for time being we'll delete this. Let's come to your graphic, which is, we'll select this and then we'll see into the property window. Now the first has been a meter joining. Then we'll see the next, which is round join. If we do this, the border is the same, but if we see into the zoom, let's off the border and see, you cannot see that properties also. Select the border and now you can see what it is happening. You cannot, okay, let's keep this, we'll remove this dash, put it 0, this is also 0. Now see, can you see the corners of the box? This is not a radius, this is a border metered, rounded, or the cut shape, which we call it as a rivel joining. It means that the corner of it has been like a cut shape. By default it will be this shape. Okay, now moving next, you can add a shadow to any object. Now I need a shadow for this box. What I'll do, you can see below that there is a shadow property, which is right now it is not selected. To put a shadow, you need to select this checkbox. See, can you see the shadow beyond? Okay, right now I'll increase the shadow a bit darker. Okay, and now you can see, right, this is what a shadow for the box. So you can add shadows to any object. You can play around with the shadow properties. You want just for the x-axis, not to the y-axis, then put it at this 0. Okay, so this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Right now the shadow is entire to the box from the 4 side. If you want just bottom, then put it, see, the shadow is to came bottom part. Okay, now what is this? This is something, a blur. Now the blur should be more. What I will do, I'll put it something 20. Can you see the blur has been increased? So this is how the blur works to the shadow. So you can play around with this, you will get to know what changes are happening to your object. Now moving next, our next property is background blur. Okay, under this there are two properties. One is background blur and object blur. What is background blur now? I'll just make it on now. Okay, can you see what it has been happened? See, there are, once I select the background blur, you can see the two things. One is the amount and one is the brightness. If you increase this or if you reduce this, you can see the background object is getting darker or lighter amount. Okay, now what is this? See, the background of the object is getting brighter or darker. Okay, now what is this? Now opacity is nothing but it is for your object. See, I put this or something of 50. Okay, now you can see the background, how the background is happening out, right? This is about a background blur. Next, I'll choose a object blur. Now can you see the object? No, the object we can see, but it has gone blur. So for object blur, we have got just one property, which is the amount. Now we can play around like reducing or increasing. See, as you increase, the object is getting more disappeared. So this is about a object blur, because we call this as an object. So the entire object is getting blur. So this is about a blur. Next, okay, the last into the property, which is a mark for export. This I'll tell you into the last section, into the export part. Right now, keep this aside. Okay, this is about a property of an object. It will be same for all the properties, for all the object of your tools. Okay, now moving upward, which is a responsive resize. Here you can see there is a toggle, a on and a off, right? This gives this is for your entire artboard. Okay, or this is for your entire artboard. If I'll put it on, then I'll put it off. I'll show this into the prototype part, because right now you cannot see into the designing part. Okay, well, this keep will pending and will cover it up into the scrolling prototyping part. Okay, moving one more property. Now I'm selecting this, and you can see there is a flip horizontal, a flip vertical. What I'll do, I'll flip it vertical. Can you see that there's nothing changes happening out? To know that, what I'll do, I'll put it something a gradient. Okay, then you'll get to know what's happening. Okay, now if I make it to the flip, can you see that it's flipping to top to bottom. Now if I make it right to left, you will not get to know, because there's nothing happening out much. Okay, to do that, what I will do, I'll keep this shape like this and I'll flip it. See, so this is about flipping the object from right to left or bottom to right, top to the bottom. So this is how we can play around with the colors and properties and many more, borders, opacity. Okay, let's see what else all we have into the manual. This also is a part of a responsive. If I make it off, then you will not see that. Okay, I'll put this for responsive and I'll put it on and I'll choose a manual. Now the responsive is like everyone knows what is responsive. Responsive is nothing but adjust the object as per your stage, as per your device. The object get adjustable. Now this will adjust with the width and the height. Now, but I need the object should be get adjusted only with the height. What I'll do, I'll remove the width part. Now let me show you. See, I'll just do it. See, can you see? This is all a responsive object, because the entire object is getting responsive. It is increasing width and the height. The height is not, if you see, I had locked the height. Okay, can you see that? The red box, the height is fixed, but the width can be responsive. what we did, we had selected this and we had fixed the height. See, this is activated now. So I'll make it a width also the fix, or it should not get changed. What we'll do now, we'll see. Now I'll increase, it will not increase. I'll decrease, it is not decrease, it is there onto the stage. So this is how we play around with the properties of a responsive. So we have covered the properties of one object. The properties of every object will be the same. Now you could wondering what is about this into the manual. So you can lock from the four corners. I will lock from the bottom. Okay, I'll just keep this off, and you can see that now the changes magic. See, from the bottom it is not moving, right? See, this is how a responsive works. So as per your requirement, you can activate any of this four part. We'll keep it auto, which is auto is nothing but it will be from the all side it will get increase or decrease. Okay, so this is about the properties of property window. I hope I had covered all the properties of an single object. Now let's delete this. Will not require, we'll delete this. Okay, then moving next, we have covered the rectangle. Next, which is eclipse with the shortcut keys E. Now I'll select the eclipse and I'll draw a eclipse on my artboard. If you need a circle, then press shift, then draw. If you need eclipse, then leave the shift and draw, drag and leave. So this is how you can make, from one tool you can make a two properties. If you want circle, make it circle. If you want eclipse, you can make it eclipse. You can do like this, or you go to the properties and lock this. First keep it the same value, 306. Okay, then lock it, then drag it to this. See, I'm dragging, I'm increasing the size or decreasing the size. Can you see the property of the width and the height is getting same, it is not changing up. So this is how a proportionate works out. Now again, for the eclipse also has all the properties same what we had seen for the rectangle part. You can add colors, you can play with opacities, you can put shadows, or you can make a blur. So this is all for this object. You can make it repeat grid. See, you are getting repeated. See, so the repeat can be applied for eclipse also. Next, let me delete this for you. Then we'll see. The next is a polygon. The shortcut key of a polygon is Y. Select the polygon tool and drag it and draw on a stage. Then if you need a with a proportionate, then press shift and draw. Okay, this is how this object works. Again, this object also has so many properties. Only thing, it is the extra is you can make it for polygon, you can make it star by putting 5 or 7, whatever. So you can change it polygon, you can change it to the hexagon or any of them. So you can put it star, you can make it star by pressing pi or whatever, you can make it pentagon, hexagon, you can do so. So this is how we had seen how the eclipse can be drawn and the properties of the eclipse. You can make the colors, you can add the background border colors, increase the size of a border, you put a shadows, change the shadow color if you want. You can play around. Then let's see the next tool, which is a line tool. A line tool you can draw by just clicking on a stage and drag until you take your line, draw your line. If you want a straight line, then hold the shift key on your keyboard, press it and click it, leave the mouse. Then this is about your line. So you can increase your width of your line, you can change the color of your line, rest property will be the same. Now if I put it repeat grid, then you can see that, right? You can make it the lines repeat. So this is about your line tool. You can put a shadows for them. Okay, then you can make it blur, you can make it object blur also. See, this is about our line tool and the property of a line tool. Next, we'll delete this. Next is a pen tool, which is the shortcut key of a pen tool is P. Select a pen tool. Then now you need to draw a free hand shape drawing on your artboard. Now you can see the mouse cursor, which is like into the pen shape. Now you want to draw a custom shape. Then to do that, just click first. Then now you can see there's the second joining line is connected with your mouse cursor. Now if you can see, it's a just straight line, right? So but then what is the difference between the line tool and the pen tool? Now if I need a straight line, I can use a pen tool also, not, but I need a custom shape, I need a curve shape or something a zigzag shape. To do that, what I'll do, I'll click on the next second dot, I'll click it, but I will not leave the mouse cursor, a mouse button, then drag it, click and drag. Don't leave the button of your mouse, then drag. Then you can see there could be a two anchor points, right? One is right and the one is left. They are the two anchor points. See, now it is coming. Now this is a rounded shape, right? Okay. Now see, the second line automatically comes into the curve shape, right? But I need now second line. I need a straight line with the same pen tool, right? To do that, first remove this anchor point. To do that, press Alt and bring it to the center of the second dot. Then you can see, right, the line which will be into the straight line. Now I need again the curve shape, then again click, then drag it, right? So this is how you can make a custom shape. And now you need to end this to the first, or you can leave it and press it escape, it will get connected, it will be a one custom shape. Now by selecting the select tool, now this is your custom shape. I can fill this color in that by clicking the fill box, I'll change the color. See, you can fill it. You rest all the property will be the same like other object, other property has it. See, you can see all the properties can be applied for this. You can reduce the shade, you can play with opacity, you can put a shadow. So this is about your custom shape. Now you want to remove this curve from this, and to do that, double click and select again the same dot and hold the control and change the shape. See, select the dot, you can say like this. If you don't need this, then delete it. You don't need this, delete that point. Then it will be a single shape. Then click on the stage, then your custom shape is ready to use. So this is about a custom shape. Then let's move to the next. We'll delete this. Next is a text tool. The shortcut key is for text, the T from your keyboard. Select the text tool. Then by clicking on the artboard, just I'll click it, you get a blinking cursor. Then you go on writing, right? See, you can go on writing. Then if you want to know second line, press enter, go on writing. Okay, until you press enter, you can go on writing to your text. So this is something now you want from here, you want on the next line, then you can put it. So this is about a text tool. Now after coming out from the text tool by pressing a V like select tool, now you can see the text is getting cut, which is outside the box. Okay, now I need this text to be come down. One way is to be press enter from here, or the another way is go to the, now here there are the text properties. The text property, what could be the text properties? The text font, text size, text weight, you can make it bold, or you can give the space between each word. Okay, then the space between the height in the two lines. Then this is the last, this is the last line get changes. Okay, wherever you had given the enter, the next line of this get space between the two lines. You can make it a center, left align, right align. So this is about your a text property. Now here you can see the two things. One is a point text and one is a area text. Now it is a point text. We use the point text to write the content onto the stage. What I'll do, I'll make it to the point text. Now you can see the line beside the text has been changed. Okay, by now if I reduce this, automatically the text gets down to the next line, right? Can you see that? See, it is coming, the text is getting fit into the box. So this will get area get created with the area text. Now what you can do, by selecting a text tool, click and draw a text box area. Okay, then go on writing in that. Now the text will not go out until see, I'm not pressing enter, but the text is getting automatically to the next line. Okay, so this is how a text area and the point text works. Okay, this is what is the difference between the point text and the, you can change to the area text to the point text anytime. Now this is the area text. Now I need to make it to the point text. I can just by changing from here, by clicking activating this, it will become a point text. Okay, now this dot, if you press this and bring it to the center or exceed or increase to the down, the automatic the font size is getting increased. Can you see the into the property? Can you see the properties are changing up? See, so by this you can play around. Rest, if you know the word, then you can know about this. See, this will become a capitalized. This is all small, one capital and one small. Next rest would be small. The first would be a capital and rest will be a small. To superscript and subscript, underline, then a strike to the words. Okay, you can change the color of your font. Okay, but remember, every time you should not, there should be a no border to the fonts. If you want, if there is something infographic you are making with the font, then you can make it by giving the borders to this. But remember, the text should be not have the borders. So we will not keep it right now. You can give the shadows for your text. You can make it blur also. See, rest properties are same. So this is about your text tool. Let's delete for you. Select this. Now let's move to the next tool, which is artboard. Now, as I had explained in the starting, like how the artboard works, select the artboard. Sorry. So if I'm keeping any graphic over here, then putting a color to them. Okay. With the zoom tool, you can zoom it. See, you can zoom the part and you can work with that. So this is how a zoom tool works. Now the second option is go over here onto the zoom part and zoom in. Okay, so the max is 6400% will be the max size of zooming. But the best part is whenever you make it any design, keep it to the 100% and work. Let's see the next part, what is in Adobe XD. We'll see what's assets and layer panel. Till here we had learned all the tools plus the properties of all the tools and the property of artboard. Next we'll see what is assets and what is layers. Prior to that, let me tell you, let's delete this graphic. And okay, this is our stage. We'll rename it. Stage. Okay. Now, as I explained about the interface of an XD, we have the layers and assets below the toolbars. Now let's see the layers. After clicking on the layer icon, the window opens beside the toolbox. Now you can see there is inside the toolbar layer panel, you can see this is the artboard. Now this is our artboard name. Okay, the artboard shows over here. Now we'll reduce this for MB. So this is our stage, one artboard. Now what we'll do, we'll create one more artboard with the same size and the same height. Okay, now you can see this. Okay, as many as artboards you create, it shows in the layer panel. Okay, so this is how the artboard can be seen. Now we'll delete this. Now inside this, what I'll do, I'll draw some with the help of the shapes. I'll draw something. Okay. Okay, I drawn three objects. One is rectangle, one is circle, and one is a triangle. Now you can see this all three shapes are different. You can see these shapes into the layers also. Can you see this? Right? See polygon 1, ellipse 1, and rectangle 2. Now what if I draw one more ellipse, then it will give you like ellipse 2. See, in the layer panel, if you see, it shows a ellipse 2 circle, ellipse 2, right? So now if I select any layer, any object, the layer gets selected. The same layer gets selected into the layer panel, because now you are into the artboard. Then these all objects are into this artboard. Now you can see whenever I go onto the any layers, you can see there are the three different icons. One is like export icon, second is lock, third is like hide. Now I don't need this rectangle to be shown over here for a time being purpose. One is you can delete it, or the second option is you can put this to the outside, right? But it will be outside to the artboard. But I don't need this out. So what I'll do, I'll keep this into the artboard. So you can see all the objects into the artboard. Say rectangle, ellipse 2, polygon 1, ellipse 1. So what I'll do, I'll show you how the second icon, which is a lock, works out. Now I'll lock this ellipse 1. I'll lock it. Okay. Now this is locked, so I cannot move this, and nor I cannot edit this. Okay. All the properties is locked for this object, because while doing anything on a stage, if something you need, if it is getting disturbed, then you can lock it or you can hide it, that object. If you want to remove the lock and if you want to edit it again, there is two ways. One, you can unlock it from here, or you can just click it over here. So it will get again unlocked and you can edit it according to your design. So this is what about the property. Now let me tell you what this next icon means, a mark for export. Now you need this should be get out now only. Okay, I'll group this part. Okay, this is something about my graphic. What I'll do, I'll select this all and I'll wait a second, select all and right click and group it. Okay, now this is a group. Now under this we have three objects are combined, which is a group. Now what I'll do, even same, this also has three properties. One is export, lock and hide. So I'll mark this as for the export. What I can do is, once this is a mark for export is done, you can just this much part can be exported in a different formats like JPG, PNG or SVG also can be get exported. How it has been done, I'll show you that into the export part. So for time being, we'll keep this for we'll mark this into the export part. Now this is a layers property. So you can create layers and you can move layers. You can move layers up and down, or you can work with this properties also. Now Let's see the next thing, which is assets. Now if I open the asset panel, you can see over the asset there is nothing. All assets we can see, but right now in the asset we have nothing. Okay, we have nothing objects which has been kept into the assets. We have assets, color, and character style, and components. Now let us see what else all we can do with this here. Now we have created this, we have created a group of this. What I'll do, I'll right click this and I'll mark this. See, now you can make a component. Okay, once I click this, okay, it gets a component. As a component we can use this. Okay, the entire object has been saved into your component. Okay, can you see this? Now I need to reuse this. One is copy paste. See, one is a copy and a paste. Okay, now we'll delete this. Okay, now you can just go to asset and go to the components and drag and drop. You can use this. Okay, this will save as a component where you can reduce the size, you can reuse it. We'll delete this and we'll take this and see, because I cannot make it this small size because these are the combine of 3 objects. So you go inside and make a changes of the object. Okay, because right now it is into the component, so you cannot resize all the objects at a time. Okay, so you need to do it a single object, or you need to group it, come from the group it and then resize it. See, I grouped it and I'm resizing it. All the objects are getting resized. So this is how you can use the component. I need this box into the component with my gradient color. What I'll do, I'll change the colors. I'll add it a gradient color, some gradient colors to my okay, this is how I need my gradient object. Okay, I'll right click it, I'll make it a component. See, a component has been added over here. So you can rename it my box. I'll rename for this also my graphic. Okay, so next, now this is about my graphic. Okay, my graphic, my component we had changed over here. What I need, this is all my, I can save this color also as a component, as an asset. So every time I don't want this colors to be choose from here, right? I need this color to apply for this circle or eclipse. What I'll do, I'll right click it, I'll make it this, add color to asset. See, can you see over here the 2 colors? Now why the 2 colors has been added? This color okay, this color is in gradient color. What about this? If you are saying it's a border color, then you are right. It's absolutely correct. If you zoom it, then can you see we have a border color, which is the same thing, which has been added to the color asset. Okay, so this is how. Now I need this to be, okay, this should be added with this color. Okay, my saved color can be applied to the any object. Okay, I need this. Or here, what I'll do, I'll apply this. Now, why this has been changed? Now, do you know, like we had taken this component, this object from the component, right? So this was the primary component for which we had kept into the component. So if we make any changes into the main component, then it will applicable to the all the components, like how we did into the grid part, if you remember. Then the same thing applies over here also. So never change. If you want to change entire object, then we can do it. So never change to the primary object. Okay, so take it from here. I'll recolor it. Okay, okay, this is my component now. Okay, now so this is a part of the, I've taken the copy of a component from here. Okay, so if I change it, it is okay. Now what I'll do, I change it, I'll update it in the component. Okay, reset to master component, because right now the master component is being changed. To do that, edit master component and change the color. See, now you can delete this from the outside. Now take anything, then see, these are not master, these are the copy of the master. So you can change it to this, or you need this to be get changed to this color, yeah, this color. You can play around. So this is how you can use the assets. Now this is about the graphic. Okay, I'll delete this for you. I hope this you had understood about the, if you delete from the stage, the component will be remain same into the component part. Okay, you can reuse it, you can delete it, you can reuse it until you won't delete from the component. To delete that, go to the component and right click and delete it. Okay, so this is how you can do it, or you can rename it, or you can highlight on a canvas. Okay, if you keep this, okay, there are n number of components. Okay, then if you don't know which one we had made the master component, to do that, to find out, we can show this, we can click on this, highlight on a canvas, then it will highlight it in the canvas itself. Now I'll type a text. Okay, so this is my something, a unique font which I had kept it. Okay, now for this color I kept it 30, sorry, I keep it this as a black, and I'll give the spacing of 20. Okay, and I will make this as a all capital, and from here I'll make it more. Okay, now this one, okay, this is something underlined. Now every time I don't want, now see, I need a second text. Okay, if I write it, the color is same. Okay, the font is same. Oh, it's okay, but again the properties are missing, right? See, I don't have a, it's a lowercase, I don't have a underline. So again, if I want to apply the same thing, then I need to select this all, then again I need to go over here, I need to change it, capital, underline, this all things I need to do it. So to avoid this, what I can do is, okay, select this, right click it and make it add character style to asset. Okay, if I make it, the entire property whatever applied to this text or these characters had been saved into the character styles. So if I want to reuse it, what I'll do, you can create a n number of character styles. Okay, see, now I'm putting some text on a stage. Okay, by default you had it, the color got changed and it is not capital. Now I need a same style to be applied for this text. What I'll do, I'll select this and I'll apply this. Can you see that? See, the same style has been applied to this characters also. So this is how we can play around with the assets. So whatever you do, it reduces your time for making any design, because when you create a n number of designs or n number of screens for a mobile or desktop or a website or application, then it helps a lot for making any design in a simple way, right? So this is about asset part. Okay, now let's see a link asset. If you have anything asset which has been saved on a cloud or someone had shared with you, then yeah, right now there is nothing shared with me, so I cannot show you over here. So if something is shared with you, then we can save, call that link, and we can link it over here. So here, then you can make it into the list or a thumbnail grid view. So we had covered about the assets and layers. Next, we'll see creating and editing components. We covered it. I showed you how to edit it, the component. Next is working with grids. Now, I need a grid. Okay. Now, these are not aligned. Okay. To do that, now if can you see this? There is a line which is coming into the between the artboard. Okay. If I move any object, you can see the line which is a guideline which shows you, okay, you are into the center. Okay. If I go here, if you align this, see, it will show you that, okay, these objects are aligned into the center. So this is about the guideline. Now as I had shown on the first, now I need this to be make a grid. Okay, see, I can repeat it. So this is about a grid. You can work around with the grids like this. Now this is one grid style. Now imagine this is my mobile stage. Okay, now you can see once I select this artboard, you can see there's one more, a grid property. Now it is off. If I on it, you can see a four green columns has been displayed. Okay, these are this property I'll explain you. Okay, this is a layout. Okay, now if you know something about programming, then there are the grids or the layouts which we use while designing purpose. You can change the color. Okay, and you can make it for 4, 12, or you can make it 2 also. Okay, I deleted, sorry, my bad. Let's take iPhone and let's put it layout. Okay, we'll reduce it, or we can reduce for just 2. According to your design, you can reduce it. Okay, so this is how we, while putting some text or some image, this gives a best guideline while making any design on your stage. So you can give the space between the each box, each column. Okay, a column width you can increase or decrease it. Okay, then the space to the side. Okay, how much you want to leave it. This you can adjust according to your requirement again. Okay, this is about the entire grid. Now inside the grid we learned about the layout. Now we'll see the square. Now if you zoom it, then you'll get to know what is the square. So this gives a square size, you can increase it. This also gives you the accurate while putting any graphics or text on a stage itself. See, you can change the color of your squares. So this is how, by changing after this, you can make this as a default. This gives, while after taking one more artboard, I need a grid, then it will be the same. See, the red itself. Prior it was a gray color. You can change it. you can change it and make it as a default. Okay, see, because this has a difference and this has a different. Under this, if I change it, it will be a default this color. You can increase it, you can reduce it. So this is how you can work with a grid option. So let's see what's next. Now it's design and prototyping. Till now, if you have seen, we were into the design tab, design and prototyping. Now we'll see how an accurate design can be made by using any artboard. Let me show you. I'll take an example. I'll remove this grid. I'll not work with the grid. Okay, we'll take an artboard. So and we'll select. So we have two tabs, which is a design and one is a prototype. Okay, so right now we'll not see a prototype, we'll see on a design. We'll focus on a design part first. Okay, we have a artboard which is an iPhone X or a XS. Now what I'll do, I'll take an stage first. I'll take a stage first and I'll change that color to the gray color. Okay, then we'll make it a simple login screen. A login screen. I'll name it, and what I'll do, I'll make it now first. I'll make a simple logo. Copy paste. To the center. Sorry. I'll take this, I'll remove this. Okay. This looks good. I'll Ctrl C, Ctrl V. This Ctrl C, Ctrl V. I'll reduce the size. I'll put it over here and make it a white. Okay, this is my logo. Take this as my logo. I'll group it for this for time being. Okay, this is my logo, and I'll give it a name, app name. What I'll do, I'll give it a name test. Okay, test is our app name. Okay, I'll put it here. I'll change the color of the. What we'll do is we'll take something yellowish. Okay, this looks good. Let's change some font. Okay, we'll keep this. This looks good for me. Okay, this is my logo. This is app and app name. Now what I need is now we need a user name to be entered. Text box. We put it this way for the center by aligning this to the center. Okay, what I'll do, I'll make it this into this curve. I'll reduce this. Okay, this looks good for me. Reduce more. Still big. Center. Okay, and I'll make a copy of this. Copy and paste. This is for password. This is for username. And now we need a text to be added. What we'll do, we'll add it over here. Username, name. I'll change the font type. No worries. We'll keep some simple font. If it is iOS, then I'll be choosing Helvetica New, right? Let's look out for Helvetica New. I hope I could be having out. Okay, I don't have. It seems I don't have. Okay, let's make something similar. I'll keep this as a label. Okay. Instead of username, I'll put it as the email ID. Okay. And we'll give the size around 16 is 16 looks good. Okay, center. We'll change the color of this to the white. Okay, and Control C, Control V for now here for password. I'll make it this one center first. Okay, make it password will be the label. Okay, now here I need something. Okay, a button. Control C, Control V. Use this as a button. I'll make it a bigger size. Okay, this looks good for me. Control C, Control V. A button name will be a sign in. Sign in, right? Or we'll do a login or submit. Okay, submit is the name of the button. I'll increase the font. It's too big, right? So let me reduce it. Okay, I'll change the font button color. I'll put it as a yellow. Okay, this needs to be. Okay, this looks good for me. What do you think? Let's add some shadow for this. Yes, this looks good. What we'll do is remove the border. Okay, let's put some shadow for this also. We'll keep it lighter part. Okay, I'll add the shadow to my swatches. Apply the same. Just I'll delete it and I'll reuse this. Okay, looks good. Okay, again, email ID, password. Okay, we'll give some forgot password. Okay, I don't get this. I need Control C, Control V. We'll give forgot password for a user. We'll take console media. Forgot password. Forgot password plus question mark. Okay, if user forgot this password, then we can easily click on this, right? Okay, this is for. Okay, now if a new user, then he needs to log in. He needs to use sign up. Okay, if a new user, then he can sign up, right? Okay, this looks good. Now let us see in 100%. The alignment doesn't look good. Let us put something, make it good, more good. What we'll do, we'll keep like this, and I'll put this into like. No. Okay. How about this color? Bit dark. Yes, this looks good for me. Okay. Now I'll remove this border. Okay, this looks good for me. Okay, what we'll move this part bit down. Okay, this looks good for me on my screen. Okay, this is done, the design. Okay, now this my login screen is ready. $63. $63. Okay. User puts user email ID, password, and you can click submit. Okay. Now this is your design is ready. So this is how we make a design for a mobile screen. So let's make some changes more. I'm not liking this. So okay, this looks okay. Now this is a final screen of your login screen, but to make it a prototype we need a multiple screens, right? For time being, to show you what I'll do, I'll make it a copy of this screen. Okay, just select it and drag it and press Alt and drag. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll make this into the blue and this will be into the gray part because it is inactive. We'll make this as an inactive part. Okay, now this here the screen is inactive and here the screen is active. What we'll put it over here, the username, we'll put it Michael, or what we can put is like test.test @gmail.com. Okay, I'll put this into the center. Okay. Then we'll put it username, password. A user will put in password which could be a 9 asterisk. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 could be enough. Yes, I'll put it into the middle. Okay, now once user clicks on this, okay, what we'll do, we'll remove this now for time being. Okay, I'll keep this also the same color. The font color could be the same. Okay, now the first step. Okay, I will make it this as a login screen, email ID. email ID. I'll make it a copy of this and paste it. Then what I'll do is I'll put a password now. Control C, Control V, and all asterisk 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Now once user puts a password, then it needs to be get no, this sounds looks good. Yeah, this is okay. Yeah, I'll use this. Then the button should get active, right? See, it is active now. Okay, after clicking this button, the user should get I'll change this to the password. Okay, now after this it should go to the home screen. What I'll do, I'll make a copy of this and I'll just remove this all stuff from the screen and I'll put this into the center. No, let it be over here. And what we'll do, we'll write it. No, what we'll do, we'll write it some text for you. Welcome to the test app. How may I help you?